The eyes, they say, are the most important of the five senses because it is through the eyes that we see the world. Our guest today has dedicated his life to restore and preserve the sight of thousands of people who come to his hospital in Bangalore. We are delighted to have on our program today the eminent ophthalmologist Dr. YL Rajashekar. Doctor, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Tell us something about Shekhar Netralaya, which you started in 1999.
Shekhar Netralaya is a dream hospital. I always wanted to become an ophthalmologist. When I became an ophthalmologist, I thought I should start an eye hospital wherein, thousands of people. I'm being humble. Actually, my dream is millions of people should get the benefit of restoring their vision through this very precious subject. Of all the medical fields, you rightly put it, if I can remember one Sanskrit saying Sarvendriyani Nayanam Pradhanam. Of all the sense organs, eyes are the foremost.
Right.
So, in eyesight, in restoration of eyesight, compared to other medical fields where they will either prolong the life or cure a disease, here we improve the quality of life.
That is true.
Quality of life. So, and that's very important. Most of our patients, those who come with eye ailments, are senior citizens, elderly people. For them, eyes are very important. For everybody, eyes are important. For them more so, because otherwise they may have some limitation of movement or things like that. So, if they have good eyesight, they can enjoy the life.
And when patients come to you, the elderly patients, that is the time when macular degeneration is inevitable, cataract and
cataract,
such
macular
problem.
degeneration, sometimes diseases like glaucoma which are not treated,
Right.
sometimes a cumulative effect of lifestyle diseases.
But glaucoma can happen at any age, no?
Glaucoma can happen, generally it's after 40 years,
Right.
and if it's undetected, it starts showing its vision related implications after a certain age. So, then they come with the handicap of that glaucoma related illness, but glaucoma is definitely kind of controllable. It's
Right.
not necessary that everybody who has glaucoma should have an eye problem, because people shouldn't get worried by that.
Yeah.
Those who have neglected their glaucoma can have that problem. So when they come with that eye ailment and when we cure, the amount of joy we get is immense actually. So at the end of the day, when we have treated so many people, so many surgeries, we won't be tired. We will get more refreshed because we get back that positive energy from most of our patients. I must say all of them.
That's wonderful, because this kind of enthusiasm and passion for your profession is a little rare, isn't it? Especially in the private sector.
Yeah, yes
Let's
and no.
face it, most people are there to make the money.
Yeah, see, these days, medical profession is getting that tag. It's very unfortunate, but it's wrong to say that everybody is like that. Still, majority of people are good. Majority of people are good. But what happens is, the good people's work won't reach out. One or two bad elements, they get the media attention and people remember.
Yeah.
So.
No, but whatever
it's
it is, the
unfortunate,
compulsion
yeah,
of business, the compulsion, the monetary compulsions are there, let's face it, they are there. But what happens as a result is that people who can't afford good medical attendance, they are the ones who suffer.
Yeah. See, compared to many other sectors, healthcare sector is a service sector.
Right.
Here, we need three important things. One is accessibility and affordability, and very importantly, from the medical profession itself, affability is very important. See, here if any one of the three A's are missing, then it gets that it doesn't reach out for the purpose it is meant for. Unlike other professions, people come to us when they themselves have a problem. Either they are in distress, or they have some ailment, or some kind of a stress, or some kind of fear, and they walk into the hospital trying to seek a solution, and what they want is empathy of the staff.
That's right.
And lot of ethics in the system, and the whole environment should be enabling to solve his problem.
Yeah, it should be
You know,
compassionate.
yeah, it is that's very important.
Yeah.
This
So
is
you're
where,
ensuring that that is maintained in your
yes,
hospital.
yes. See, I don't treat the disease.
Right.
I treat the person, you know. So because disease is one small science, disease is there, medicine is there, and they get knocked off there. But patient may not be happy. He may have many other ailments or many other dimensions to his disease. That's where we need to.
And that is where your
Bridge
wife
the
comes
gap.
in as a
Oh, sure.
psychiatrist, isn't it?
Yeah, my wife, Dr. Kirtana, she has been a great help to me in building this organization. She's a psychiatrist and very able psychiatrist.
So does this help, because one normally thinks of problems of the eye to be totally disconnected with psychiatric problems, but you do find that it helps to work in harmony.
Not necessarily psychiatric problem.
Right.
Yeah, all human beings have a kind of a behavior and an attitude towards an illness, and they have their own lifestyle. Each individual is different. Understanding an individual, it need not be a disease. It's an understanding an individual is very important when we attend to their problems.
Right.
For example, if I say a parent comes with a child, I tell them your child needs spectacle to be worn. Some parent cries. Some parent will be angry with the doctor, saying, you know, this doctor is telling a wrong thing, my child can see everything. And some parent will thank the doctor, oh good, you identified the problem. So the problem is same, but three parents are, these are just the three things. I can quote 10 different reactions from them. But conveying this to them by understanding how they are going to perceive it is an art.
It is
Because,
very much an art.
see,
yes.
finally I know that child needs to wear glasses, then only child is getting benefited.
Right.
But how is the family going to take it in a positive frame of mind is where a doctor should work and walk an extra mile. He can't say that, okay, I did my job, this is the glasses I have given. No, it doesn't end there. It should, you know, first you should educate tell them what they need, why they need, what are the benefits of it in a different
So
way.
it becomes an ongoing process from the time
Yeah.
a patient comes to you to the point of
Correct.
whatever operation that you are suggesting, and the post-operative care in the case of an operation,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's very important because even in surgeries, like, you know,
Right.
we talked about this. In surgeries, some patients come with only one eye.
I see.
Their other eye, either it's born blind, or they have had an injury, or they have had a bad experience, whatever reasons, you know. Just imagine a person coming with one eye. His psychology is entirely different from a person who walks in with both seeing eyes, one eye having a problem. The way they take the solutions that we give is entirely different. For the other fellow, for a person with one eye, that eye is the whole life for him, you know.
Yes,
He
so
can't imagine living with another handicap in the only eye that he is having.
Yeah.
So while treating him, lot of sensitivities come in. So, and hence the surgery may be same in both, but how you deliver, how you make it comfortable to him, you know. So not just treating the disease, but the whole treatment should be a good experience for the individual, wherein, you know, he relates well to the medical profession and says, wow, the technology and the benefits have come to him.
As part of the technology and benefits, do you also take cost factors into account
It's very important because
from the patient's point of view?
yeah, it's very important because, so see, just because something is available or just because I like something, I can't go on investing in one and pass on the burden, I won't say benefits, burden to the patient. Whatever brings benefit to the patient should be my endeavor to invest and bring in that. If it's going to be a burden, I should pause and say, is the burden I am going to take as a doctor, or am I passing on to the customer, the patient in this case? I should never be passing on the burden to the patient. I should always see from his point of view what is best for him in all aspects.
And you're
not
also
just
paying special attention to patients who can't afford surgery, aren't you?
That's very important because, see, the disease doesn't see a person whether he is poor or rich.
Right.
So when that is the case, he is helpless. So he has an illness, he wants treatment. So now, if the treatment is going to cost beyond his affordability, then, you know, that is where, as a responsible citizen or a responsible doctor, I should chip in and say, okay, this is what you can pay, this is what I'll come forward and do it. We definitely do it.
Oh,
We
that's
have
wonderful.
a motto in the hospital which is written in some places and not written in many places, which is nobody should be refused for the want of money. Nobody should be refused treatment for the want of money. If somebody wants free, take it. We can't put it in bold letters because the tendency of people is, everybody says I can't afford and everybody will come. It can't happen like that. It's where, the genuine needy, one who feels, look, I need the treatment, but I'm handicapped by money, should never feel that money is the handicap for him, because the society is with him. He should feel that, because illness is something which they don't invite,
Yeah.
So it's a situation. Nobody should exploit the situation.
That's a wonderful attitude to have, that no matter who comes to you is never refused. Now, we live in a country which has the second highest population in the world, and naturally that means that we also have the largest population. It doesn't mean that, but it is true that we also have the largest population of people with eye
People, yeah,
problems.
yeah,
1/3 of the world in India.
Yeah, see, in India, more than 1 crore of people have blindness.
Right.
Most of the blindness is curable. It's due to cataract.
Right.
Around 60% of the people who are blind is because of cataract, and around 15 to 20% are due to refractive errors. That's the need of spectacles, and rest of it is due to glaucoma or lifestyle diseases or systemic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, which in turn affect the eye care conditions. And some are related to age-related ones because longevity is increasing.
Right.
So macular degenerations and those things come up. Here, since majority is cataract, which is easily curable. Secondly, refractive errors. So this is very surprising. Nearly 20% of the people whom we call blind actually can be made to see with just a pair of glasses.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's refractive errors. In children, if you go and see in schools, lot of them are undetected refractive errors. So either because they don't have awareness or they don't have facilities to go and get themselves checked. That's why these many of the governments and even private organizations take up that school screening programs, where we find nearly 10 to 15% of the children in each class have some kind of a refractive error, which can be treated by glasses.
And this is so easily done. It's not
so
even a
easily
big
done.
deal.
So, but it is blindness, because as long as he is not wearing glasses, he is not seeing.
Right.
So it's easily treatable. So this is one area where we can focus and do a lot of work, so that just the simple glasses, just education. We take up a lot of school screening programs. Last year we did around 40,000 children school screening program. That's an attempt to educate the parents, educate the teachers, and reach out to the child, because child is one who can't decide, okay, I am not seeing, now I'll go to a hospital and see a doctor.
Yeah.
It depends on the parent,
In fact, a child wouldn't even know that he's not seeing clearly.
because child doesn't have a comparison, especially if the refractive error is from the beginning.
Right.
So they think the whole world sees like
Like
this.
that.
So that's also there.
Now, this is very interesting. You said that sometimes when parents come to you with their children, they react very sharply if you say the child
Very
needs glasses.
sharply.
Why is that?
See, it's an act of denial. See, they don't want the child, who is such a lovely child to them and they relate so well, to have any problem. So whoever diagnoses becomes the villain there. Or they will think, okay, he can read small things. Why will you say? See, reading small things itself is myopia, where distance is not seen.
Right.
So they try to, it's an act of denial. That's one human reaction, where you say, okay, my child can't have this kind. So sometimes what happens, that
Is there also a stigma attached to wearing glasses? Not anymore.
it is there in certain, especially in rural areas.
Right.
In cities, it's not much. Sometimes children come to us asking for glasses. If their friend is wearing, they'll come asking for glasses. That's also there. That's a lesser percentage. That's easy to treat. This one, stigma is there,
Right.
especially from neighbors. Like neighbors or relatives who come and, oh, your child has got
He's
glasses.
become a chashmish.
So parents find it difficult to face the relatives rather than the interest of the child.
Which are the other pediatric eye problems that are common in our country?
See, I have treated a child With cataracts can come in young age, 6-month-old baby having cataract and all that.
Really?
Sometimes congenital cataracts.
Okay.
And more common ones which need attention of public is squint.
Okay. That is a kind of
No,
cataract?
squint is the crossed eyes.
Right.
So one eye is looking straight and the other one is looking to the sides. So it's a squint. Many people have a taboo about squint.
Right. And this is also easily corrected?
It's easily corrected. Sometimes it can be corrected by exercises, eye exercises, sometimes by glasses. So we give spectacles and the squint gets corrected, and sometimes by surgery.
Okay.
And surgery is also safe, and it's an external surgery, not getting into the eye and all that. It's surgery done around the eye to realign the muscles. It's a safe surgery, but there is thinking in the people that squint brings luck. Some people,
I didn't know that.
Many people think squint brings luck. Some people think squint will go away as the child ages,
Right.
and hence doesn't need any medical attention. And awareness about treatment to squint in public is less, and also among our other specialists,
I see.
other than eye specialists. So even the other doctors, if I give a questionnaire to 10, 7 may not be able to answer all the scientific facts about squint.
And why is this so? Is it not covered in the texts that medical students have to read?
Maybe that's one of the reasons.
Okay.
Maybe that's one of the reasons. And it's now we don't take it as a thing, so we educate the physicians, because it's just one liner telling that squint cannot be neglected. The question is why it cannot be neglected. So it can lead to one eye blindness. Like squinting eye, the eye which is angled may not develop the vision at all. It's very surprising actually. So that's because it doesn't get a chance to see as well as the other eye which is focusing.
I see.
So now something like having 2 cameras focusing on a target, if one is not aligned properly, the signals from that are cut off because they are not focusing on the target. So now with both eyes, when I am seeing something, both eyes are supposed to fix on the target. So if one eye is off, then the child starts seeing double vision. One eye is seeing something, the other eye is seeing something else. Then the brain decides better to cut off one signal rather than have a double vision.
And what is the difference between a squint and lazy eye?
Yeah. See, squint leads to that one eye blindness.
Right.
That one eye blindness is called lazy eye.
I see.
Same thing.
It's the same thing.
You have it, yeah.
Okay.
Squint leads to one eye blindness called lazy eye, technically called as amblyopia. Amblyopia. So people say, how long you can ignore this? When will it get corrected? We'll say the moment you notice squint, take them to an ophthalmologist, nearest ophthalmologist. So thereby you can prevent that blindness. That blindness is preventable. Totally
Isn't it amazing that so many kinds of blindness are really preventable or curable, except for probably congenital blindness, which
congenital blindness, and in the last 20 years, lot of progress has happened.
right.
So technology has made a huge difference. So whatever diseases we were saying is difficult to treat, or okay, you live with this, or you use this medicine, now we are able to give a definitive treatment, more accurate, predictable and affordable treatment these days. Many of them are like even the macular degeneration you were telling. There are medicines which can be injected into the eye.
I see.
Into the eye to control further deterioration of macular degeneration, provided it's diagnosed in the right stage, and if the patient follows those periodic injections that are required. So meaning there is a treatment even for that. And even in refractive errors, which somebody doesn't want to wear glasses, doesn't want to wear contact lenses,
There is
we have
LASIK.
lasers. We have lasers. So that way science has helped us a lot.
Yeah. In fact, you mentioned lasers. Now lasers are also being used in a very large way in cataract surgeries, aren't they?
Correct. See, when you talk of lasers, as an ophthalmologist, I want to take the credit. See, lasers in the entire treatment of human body were first time used in ophthalmology.
I see.
Ophthalmology. So then later on it went on to other fields also. Now dermatologists also use laser, and many other specialists also use lasers. Even dentists use lasers. Coming to ophthalmology, we have different types of lasers. But in the public, laser means one particular thing.
True.
So laser is just nothing but one sharp ray of light. It's light which is specific with one frequency and with one specific energy. So as many colors are there, so many different lasers are possible.
So different colors are used for different kinds of problems.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So we have green laser for something, red laser for something else, and ultraviolet laser is for used for LASIK. Infrared rays are used for cataract surgery. So that way there are many lasers are there. In cataract surgery these days, it's also coming up with laser as one of the tools in completing the entire cataract surgical process.
Yeah, and that is why it's probably the reason why you can do a cataract surgery in 15 minutes.
Yeah, so the 15-minute surgery, which is more popular now and done in most of the parts of the country, and that's called phacoemulsification.
Right.
So in that, it's trained hands, it can be done in 6 to 7 minutes. So it's there, we use ultrasound energy to emulsify the cataract and take it out. So in this entire process, if there are 10 steps, 3 to 5 steps can be done now with a laser that has come in to as part of cataract surgery, and in the years to come, maybe in 5 to 10 years to come, that may completely complete the process of cataract surgery.
Isn't it amazing what technology is doing?
Yeah.
And you have adopted technology in a very big way in your hospitals. We'll talk about it, but let's take a short break before that.
दरीबा डायरीज में कोतवाल को रास नहीं आई एक पुरानी दोस्ती।
यहीं से हम घाटी पे हमला करेंगे और सारी नकदी लूट लेंगे।
क्या मिर्जा को मिलेगा रिश्ता बचाने का रास्ता, या खो देगा पिता का प्यार दोबारा? दरीबा डायरीज शुक्रवार रात 9 बजे डीडी नेशनल पर, देश का अपना चैनल।
Welcome back. Our guest today is the eminent ophthalmologist Dr. YL Rajashekar. Doctor, before going into the break, we were talking about how technology has helped in such a big way, especially where eye surgeries are concerned or treatment of the eyes is concerned. And you have been a first for many such treatments in your hospital.
See, technology, like in many other fields, it has also come up in healthcare, more so in ophthalmology. It could be in the operation theatre that we use the microscopes, or the equipment that's used to do cataract surgery, the technology of the equipment itself, or in diagnostics. To diagnose a disease, various instruments have come. Eye is such a small thing, it's just 25 millimeters in diameter, less than that, 22 to 23 millimeters diameter, less than an inch in diameter. Such a small thing, but if you see the equipments, you can fill up a big hall, so many equipments are there, because you need to magnify and see with more and more accuracy. A lot of equipments have come that way, even in terms of medicines. So it could be the eye drops, or it could be the tablets that have come. They have all come with a lot of technological innovations. But when it comes to the practice itself, yeah, these are the things which are available in the market, but how you adapt to them, how you incorporate them into your practice so that the efficiency is improved, and because of the efficiency, the cost to the patient will come down. So this is where we need to be innovative. And in healthcare sector, not only the treatment, it's the patient overall experience and the delight that the patient should get, especially in eye care. It's possible. A patient who walks in, it may be different in a cancer patient.
Right.
Like, at best you can only control or this thing, still he has that stigma. In eye care, it's not like that. He walks in saying he can't see, he walks out delighted, says, comes back and tells me the colors are beautiful, I can see my children, I can see my grandchildren. So that delightment factor is very much possible in our this thing. So here, lot of communication systems within the clinic itself can make this experience much better to the patient. It could be an appointment system, or it could be when he arrives, what instructions he had told. Like, for example, I'll give you, we have incorporated, he takes an appointment by phone, and then while talking over phone, he says, look, I have to go back by 12 o'clock, I have to pick up my grandchild from the school. So the play home, so it's one of the grandfathers what they do. So he says, I'm coming to see the doctor. My telephone attendant says, fine. And when he comes to the hospital and he's in the front office, the girl says, welcome so and so. I think you have to pick up your grandchild. When the front office clerk says that, he will be delighted. Look, I only spoke to the telephone girl and You know it now. So, and it will be ensured that he will go back to pick up the.
So you try to make it a personal experience every time for the patient.
Because each person has some kind of such specific needs with which he is carrying on his life, and his visit to the hospital is one of a thing. It's not a regular affair to him. Every day he doesn't come to my hospital. So he has a routine in which he is incorporating his hospital visit. I must see that his rest of the routine is not affected. At the same time, this he pays attention to and takes it as a nice experience.
This is quite an interesting approach, because otherwise, you know, one looks at a visit to the doctor as waiting for long hours in the
anyway,
waiting
let him
room.
wait, he has to see me. See, it's not like that. See, he may have to see you, he may have to wait, that's fine, but why that? Why that? Why can't it be a better experience? So here what happens, you know, efficiency improves. So he can get back, he doesn't have to arrange somebody else, the costs are cut there, and here this experience is better to him. And that kind of, when the front office girl says to him that you have to pick up, and he expresses, there is a positive energy that's getting created there. That keeps the motivation of the staff on, because, you know, the staff try to make the other person's life comfortable. The other person is always in the thanking mode, and you have a nice environment, and where, you know, you enjoy working.
One of the aspects of your you know, your work ethic is of course what you've just mentioned, but also teaching is a part of this, isn't it?
See, that's you are 100% right. So because, see, whatever I have learnt, one, it has to reach to the patient, because I have learnt I can't be idle. I have to give it to the patient each time, because very few people are trained and skilled. The skilled people can't be idle, and at the same time I can't live for 1,000 years. So I have to pass it on to the next generation, whatever I have learned. And at the same time, I should also try to spread whatever I have learned the hard way, so that they don't have to go through the same hard way. So that can be the baseline, and they can do better than that.
Yeah, and this part of the work ethic is not really something that is taught in colleges. This is something that you've acquired over the years, haven't you?
Correct. See, probably because of like my father was a teacher, so the environment in the house was you know, where you do good, be good, and, you know, you try to spread good things. Then he was always telling, if you spread good things, you will get back the good things. Even if you don't get back the good things, at least you should be spreading it. Like, you know, not to expect is one thing, so that which keeps us happy. That moment you start expecting, the problems start. So that's one thing. And in my hostel days, like, you know, I stayed in a hostel which is run by Ramakrishna Ashram in Bangalore. A lot of emphasis was given on human values and being ethical, being patriotic, being empathetic. In fact, in MBBS, first MBBS days itself, for next 6 years, every Sunday I went for a camp. Every Sunday. Ramakrishna Ashram was running a free camps in the villages. So though I was a medical student, I was going initially as a boy who will help the doctors. Later on, I was the dispensing one who was dispensing the medicines. Later on, once I finished my medicine, I was also going there as a doctor. So some days I remember, next day was our exam in the college. The previous day happens to be a Sunday, and either it's your inner call or your addiction or your like, you know, so the need that you should be there, otherwise somebody else is going to miss you there. So we were going to camp, and it all has helped us in
so many ways. In fact, this would lead to my next question. First, to go back to your childhood, you obviously had a very simple, almost humble childhood, didn't you?
See, my father was a teacher. That time, you know, he was getting around 400 rupees or 500 rupees salary, and he had to take care of me and my brother and sister. But with that limited income itself, he was giving lot of emphasis on studies. So I studied up to 7th standard in a village in local Kannada medium. So I come from Bangalore area, Kannada medium, where all other children from the village, you know, they were going to nearby towns for English medium schools and all that. We couldn't afford. We did that. And when I did well in that 7th standard, then he said, okay, now for 8th standard, I'll send you to the next school. So that's how the encouragement was there. I think that helped a lot.
So in your childhood, what was your dream? What did you want to be when you grew up?
No, I always wanted to become something good and something big, but when we were playing as children, you know, so they were just making me the doctor. Even in school, when some dramas were there, I used to be the doctor there.
Was this just a happy coincidence?
Maybe, or I don't know, the destiny. You know, if you go on connecting the
Or
dots, maybe.
Message from the divine saying you have to be a doctor.
Maybe. And my grandfather was blind, so. There was always family discussion that why he went blind and is there some cure, explore here, explore there. That's the time when I was asking my parents a lot of questions, why it can't be treated, why he can't see this, that and all that. So I used to find that still, you know, a lot of help can be done to human beings to live better, and rather than saying not possible, you have to be like this, you have to live like this. Maybe that call
Is that
also
what
there.
drew you to ophthalmology as a specialization?
Maybe, because when I did my MBBS,
Right.
even during my Bangalore Medical College days, our ophthalmology department was an excellent department. That will have an impact, like, you know, okay, you will start saying, okay, this is how it will be. Plus my grandfather not seeing. So then, you know, ophthalmology was one of my choices. Those days, many of my friends, you know, they were taking medicine, surgery, orthopedics, this, that and all that. So that there is always which are in the top bracket and bottom ones. Ophthalmology that time was in the bottom one. But I applied only for ophthalmology. I got my seats in surgery and other specialities in other institutes, good institutes. But still I gave up and took ophthalmology.
That
I
was
focused.
quite a courageous decision in those days, no?
Yeah, I see that passion, you know. See, my father was telling, whatever you do, if you do it with passion, small things, it could be a small thing, that itself will take you higher, or you will enjoy it and you will get the results. It doesn't have to be somebody else's thinking, like, you know, what you love, you do it. It was amazing decision, actually, amazing decision. And there, you know, a lot of peer pressure will be there. Oh, you have got so and so subject in such an institute, why are you joining ophthalmology? But ophthalmology also I got in All India Institute of Medical Sciences. That was the best that time. So
It still
for
is.
me, yeah, it is still, we owe a lot to our institute, RP Center at All India Institute of Medical Sciences. And whoever have done from RP Center, you know, they are doing extremely well in the country. Most of them are in the country. Some of them have gone to UK and all that. They are all shining stars. We must thank our professors, remember them during this time of
Yes,
success.
absolutely.
Yes.
One is always grateful
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
education one gets.
It makes a lot of difference,
Your college days, and you said your time at the mission, was that the reason why you stuck to being in India and didn't get tempted by all the various offers from abroad, which was happening to a lot of doctors?
Lot
no?
of doctors. See, when I passed out my MD in '93, there were a lot of options for us to move to UK or US, and many of some of our friends did that. And my wife, who was a psychiatrist, also had an offer from UK. So then we took a very conscious decision that we'll stay in India, we'll serve our people, and we'll prove to others that this will be a good decision for next generation to come. And when we had a get together of all our friends, MBBS friends, after 25 years we had a get together. So that time, you know, many of them were saying, look, you people are doing as well as we are doing elsewhere, or maybe better. And plus we have an advantage of staying back in the country and serving our own people. So we just wanted to prove and tell them that, look, going abroad is not the only option. Staying back and you can still do better. And
So you chose
have
service over money.
yes. And you see, here in India, it's not like, if you serve well, do well, you will get what you deserve. You don't have to exploit anybody. You will have to serve well.
That's a beautiful philosophy of life.
You
isn't
can
it?
actually see in future. I just many people I mentor them and train them like this. You don't have to run behind money. See, money comes when you provide service equivalent to that.
Right.
So without providing service equivalent to that, if you are looking for money, it doesn't come. It should not come. And if it comes, it should not stay with you.
Absolutely.
So you make all the efforts wherein, you know, you create a service which gets demand and which is loved by people.
In this journey, which sounds so beautiful and idealistic, what were the humps that you had? What were the roadblocks that came across your way?
Thankfully, God's grace, you know, not many roadblocks.
Right.
That may be because of my approach also. For somebody, it may look like a problem. For me, it looks like yes, this is an exam which I have to pass to go to the next level. So then what are all the tools that are required? What are the learnings I have to have? What are the changes I have to make in myself? And what are the help that I have to take from others? What's the advice I have to listen to? I take it up and then go forward. And some problems which I can't handle, I'll discuss with my wife. She is a very good problem solver, and also she understands from bigger perspective. That's why I owe a lot to my wife, Dr. Kirtana, in shaping my career. So nowadays my children also have added into the advisory board. Children Shriya and Lavanya, they also start advising.
So it's good to have an in-house psychiatrist who understands your psychology and helps you along.
Maybe you listen to your partner.
Right.
See, now everybody's wives can't be psychiatrists. Maybe see, they'll have another perspective.
But they are always smart. They are
Yeah, see,
always
because,
wise.
See, women think from a different angle.
Right.
So it will definitely complement what men are thinking. Otherwise, it becomes one-sided. When you take that advice also into mind, it may be sometimes diametrically opposite also.
Yeah.
But that's needed because life is after all a perspective.
Right.
So,
So to have the other
it has
perspective is
all the
important.
dimensions, and you
Yeah.
are at one corner and you are seeing only a small portion, and you can't say you know everything. So definitely to succeed, you need the entire perspective
Absolutely.
and ability to get that at the right time. So maybe I was lucky to get those perspectives in time, and I was listening to them also.
I think that's the secret to your success, to listen to the others, especially your wife. And that's something to think about for people who don't. So let's take a short break while they think about it, and we'll be right back.
दरीबा डायरीज में कोतवाल को रास नहीं आई एक पुरानी दोस्ती।
यहीं से हम घाटी पे हमला करेंगे और सारी नकदी लूट लेंगे।
क्या मिर्जा को मिलेगा रिश्ता बचाने का रास्ता, या खो देगा पिता का प्यार दोबारा? दरीबा डायरीज शुक्रवार रात 9 बजे डीडी नेशनल पर, देश का अपना चैनल।
Welcome back. Our guest today is the eminent ophthalmologist, Dr. YL Rajashekar. Doctor, before going into the break, we were talking about the various aspects of eye surgery, but we find that there aren't so many doctors in India who are ophthalmologists. What is the reason behind that?
It was so some years back. Of late, people are taking MBBS students after that. They are now inclining towards taking up ophthalmology. Currently, we have around nearly 20,000 ophthalmologists in the country. It's far less, so we can afford to have another 15 to 20,000 more also. But most of the ophthalmologists are concentrated in cities. Many districts, some districts, entire district is a big area. So some districts have one, or some districts don't even have an ophthalmologist, which are not cities. In cities, there is a density of ophthalmologists.
So what is the reason for this, according to you?
Again, it's an attitude of doctors.
Right.
So these days it's changing. In last 5 years, I would say many of the people who come from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, if that happens to be their native, they are tending to go back to their native and practicing. It's changing for good. Maybe they look at lifestyle in that place, or the schools for their children and things like that. Since these infrastructures are also developing, they are also moving. Now technology is also coming in that, we can set up a clinic remotely with all the equipment, and the specialist can be a little far away also, and he can see the patient one-to-one and treat. The technology is coming up, it's in pilot, and down the line we will see it happening more often.
Yeah, but that is also for other specialties like heart surgery and all as well, isn't it?
Correct. In heart surgery itself, it doesn't happen. In diagnosing an acute heart condition, you can have that telemedicine facility. In those specialities, to do some of the investigations, a specialist has to be there. In ophthalmology, most of our equipments are imaging kind of equipments.
I see.
So when we see also, we see the images. So now all these diagnostic equipments can capture those images, and with the bandwidth improving, so those images can be transmitted, and the diagnosis can be made. Surgery still can't be made remotely.
No, obviously not, naturally. In good medical colleges, it's very difficult to get admission, and the process is not only difficult, it is also very expensive, isn't it?
Correct. See, that's a big entry barrier actually. So we need so many doctors in the country. See, as per one estimate, to have doctor patient population ratio, it has to be 1:250. So in our country, it's around, in cities it may be 1:2000, and in villages it may be 1:20,000.
Right.
So where it has to be, as per WHO, 1:250. So with that estimate, 6 lakh more doctors are required. But we have medical college admissions of around 28 to 30,000 per year. The number keeps changing a little bit, so it's around 30,000 per year. And of this also, many of them are capitation based, and so many of them,
Capitation is a bad
fee is
word
very
these
high.
days,
Yeah,
isn't it?
fee is very high. So the student has to spend a lot of money
Right.
to come out. So a meritorious student, like if I have to pay so much money, probably looking back, I might not have joined medicine. It's such a big fee. Not
Right.
many can afford. And coming to post graduation seats, again the fee that one has to pay, except in government institutions, the private institutions is huge. So I think we need to improve a lot in either you give a loan to the doctor and take back later, or keep the fee low and take a commitment from him that he serves so many years in the country, because it's public money, it's taxpayers money, it can't be just thrown out also.
Yes.
This guy studies and goes abroad, and that can't happen. So some mechanism needs to come in, wherein you facilitate a person who is passionate to study, complete the course, and let him serve the society and pay back that loan, as well as pay it back to the society. There is a need there.
There is a need, and people should think about it.
There is a need.
Do you have any suggestions?
So yeah, see, government can take it up, because see, nowadays when it comes to signing a bond, many of the bonds are very unrealistic kind of a thing. Like there is, in some governments, they have, after MBBS you have to serve 1 year, and then you can go to your post graduation.
Right.
So when you put that in between, so then his continuity of studies is broken.
Right.
So though they may say that okay, I am recovering the five year thing, but the continuity is broken. So making it realistic and reasonable.
But isn't that 1 year important to gather experience and to understand what the student
No, here
has?
they are saying 1 year in rural posting as a payback for having studied 5 years under the government provisions.
Right.
So it's a kind of a payback time to the society. But payback is happening before he has completed his full career dreams. Or
So you're saying is that
could
he
be-
should finish his specialty and then do the
Correct,
1 year or
correct,
2 year
correct.
village or rural
Correct,
posting.
correct. So, something like that.
Right.
So where it's implementable, realistic, and very reasonable. Why not? They'll definitely do that. That's one thing. And coming to those who have passed out and come out, to set up practices. So each individual will put lot of money and establish a practice, and his immediate attention will to how to get back.
Yeah.
So there, if group practices are done, pooling up of resources is done, like some people buy equipments costing crores of rupees, which are used only 10% of the time.
Right.
90% of the time it's idle. So which could have been easily shared with 5-6 doctors, and some pooling happens. And that's also a wastage of many times the foreign exchange of the country. So if these equipments are imported once, so 10 people have to import, so much of foreign exchange we lose. So it can be pulled up and taken. But to that extent, the doctors, you can't make 10 doctors pool money and start a practice. They start fighting the next day over small things. They don't have that broad mind and the business sense, which is not part of medical education. In medical education, it's always a rat race.
Right.
You always try to be better than the other, and even if the other one has to be becomes your closest friend, still you keep competing with him. There is no that inclusive approach. So if that also becomes part of medical education, wherein you teach them little
A bit of the business as well, and a bit of understanding what it is to work in harmony, that would really help.
Correct. So that the finance sense, wherein they can make it overall profitable and good for all stakeholders. Like here I use the word. So the patient is also one of them.
Right.
If this fellow invests so much, finally he has to take it out from the patient, and a lot of one leads to the other, and the burden gets passed on to the.
That is quite an idea, I think. Are you doing something of the sort in your hospital?
Yeah, see, this is what we learned. I am part of mentoring many doctors. So that time, you know, I educate them on all these things. So, and how broad mind they should have in working together, because it brings in good to a lot of people.
That is true.
So that's where, and I also did one course in University of Management to understand how to run a healthcare enterprise as a efficient model wherein the patient gets benefited.
Right.
So for the mistakes committed on one side, like, you know, a lot of corporate hospitals have come up, a lot of multi-speciality hospitals have come up, a lot of advertisement also happens. So but finally it should become better for the patient. So he should get the benefit of that. So all these things help in reaching out and spreading the message.
Right.
But when he walks in, he should get the full benefits of the whole process.
Yeah, and these have to work in synergy, the commercial viability as well as the patient care. All this has to work in synergy so that
Correct.
the hospital doesn't lose money and the patient doesn't lose his money or his health in the bargain, isn't it?
See, whenever we plan that, the center focus should be the customer here.
Right.
Like all the stakeholders, it could be a hospital or it could be an equipment provider or the doctor or the staff. So if the focus is the patient and his well-being, so then, you know, it becomes easy.
It becomes easy. Yeah.
So the focus has to be the patient and his well-being should be the focus.
The other thing, since we are talking about focus on the patient and viability, one of the things that people have noticed is that, you know, a lot of surgeries are prescribed when they are not needed. Does this happen in your field as well?
Yes, it happens in every field. Sometimes for these financial compulsions, people may be doing it. Second one is the communication to the patient might not be proper. So overall it brings us to the question of trust in the medical field. So trust is very, very important, and it's the core of medical field, because so if I tell something, if the patient is going to accept it, so that means it's a huge trust. In my own example, when I started practice in '99, a mother brought a child for surgery, and the child needed cataract surgery. Child was around 4 years old or so. They would have come at least 10 times in the next 30 days time at different times of the day to visit the clinic, to talk to the staff, to talk to my other patients, and to talk to me and explore various questions and all that, just to make sure that okay, they are in safe hands.
Right. They would have also gone somewhere else to get a second opinion
also,
as well. Right.
10 years down the line, now, you know, so I'm in the surgical theatre, patient is lying down, my assistant comes and tells the child is 4-year-old, so and so and all that. Parent has not even met me even once, and the child is on the surgical table. Tears come to my eyes.
That is quite amazing.
Because a mother and a father is trusting me so much with their child, they have not even met me once. So it's not easy. It's not easy. That increases my responsibility.
It does.
And it has not happened over a day. We have to build it up. Consistently we have to be trustworthy. That's core of medical profession, actually.
And it is also the core of your ethic, isn't it? Your medical
It's very
ethic.
important. See, because at the end of the day you have to sleep well.
Right.
So when you have done good work and people thank you for that, and your conscience is clear, then you should. That's the way it is. For those who want to make a lot of money, I tell them, don't come to medicine. There are many other fields where you can fast track yourself and achieve your goals.
Yeah.
When you are here, it can provide you that much, but many other non-monetary things it can provide you.
You know, even while you talk about this with such passion, your eyes are moist because you feel so deeply about it. What was the moment, or what is the moment where you know, you realize that one, you're in the right field and this is what the divine sent you for? Was there a moment, a turning point in your life?
See, what I have seen is many times we plan many things, but certain things which happen, you know, have had lot of impact on me. So it could be in 12th standard, you know, where 11th standard, where I was looking for a hostel. My father and myself, we went out looking for hostels. Then we were accidentally stepped into this Ramakrishna Ashram hostel, where when we entered, we saw the board already. They had interview was over, all the selection was over. Still, we went and asked, is there a scope? Then, you know, half an hour later, somebody came and they cancelled their admission and went. That seat they passed on to me. Later on, I realized to get a seat there, one has to apply at least 3 months in advance and attend 3 interviews, and then you will get that. But I had got it just like that, like, you know,
With
I just
such
walked
ease,
in.
yeah.
Somebody. So, see, I see a divine hand there. Looking back, somebody may call it coincidence, mathematicians may call it probability, whatever it is. At least the way I look at it is a help that came to me, which changed a lot, because that period of my life I stayed in the cozy comforts and of Ramakrishna Ashram,
And you
with
were away
so
from
much
your
of value
family.
additions
Yeah.
coming in, and education became such an enjoyable phenomena. I made lot of good friends. Even today they are all extremely good friends, and that's one thing. And even the getting into colleges, it's all divine this thing. So
So you
that's
are
where
a great believer, aren't you?
I believe, and I that makes me more responsible to give it back, because I believe God gives to those who have the capacity to hold it for good cause. So if you can prove to him that you can take his blessings and use it for good things, then he may give more.
Absolutely.
So you have to prove worthy in that exam.
You know, this is quite interesting because, of course, scientists are now exploring the boson particle, the God particle. But by and large, science and technology on the one hand and faith and God on the other don't necessarily walk together, which they do in your life.
I think they need to work together. So because otherwise, how will you explain so many phenomena that's happening around us? It's see, my younger daughter, you know, she was studying physics, Lavani. She's very interesting. Then she said, atom itself has lot of gaps.
Yes.
So between proton and electron, there is a space there. That kind of thing. See, you know, so you see something very solid. In that, there is an atom in which there are spaces there. See, the whole universe is amazing thing. So this is one opportunity where, as human beings, we can be good to ourselves, good to the society, and prove worthy of being here.
Does it sadden you in society when, coming back to your field, that, you know, when all this is available, all this knowledge is available, there are so many people in our country who are suffering from blindness and other diseases related to the eyes?
So see, a lot of effort is being done in curing that. Nowadays, if you look at it, our Indian ophthalmology is at par with the international standards. In fact, in any of the conferences that go, our Indian ophthalmologists shine a lot. And all that they need is a good platform to deliver their care. So there you are asking suggestion. One probable suggestion is, if an infrastructure can be set up by an X person, and if that X happens to be government, nothing like it, and even a tariff card is given that if anybody uses this infrastructure, this is the tariff to the people. Many ophthalmologists are loving to work there, because they find it difficult to set up themselves, because that's not part of their training to run, how to set things and deliver that. So that way, you know, a public-private partnership, or some corporate hospitals are really doing extremely well that way. They are setting up that facility and allowing many ophthalmologists to deliver their skills.
What
and
about
make it
awareness drives? Because we know that certain things like malnutrition, for example, deficiency of vitamin A, for example, can cause night blindness.
Yeah,
and
correct.
and
See,
other
that's,
things.
see,
And this
thanks
is
to-
very prevalent in our
No,
society.
thanks to Doordarshan and other media. See, nowadays, I don't see a vitamin A deficiency in the entire year.
That's quite amazing.
It's amazing. Same was not the case when I was doing my medicine so many years back, 30 years back. That it was quite prevalent. Nowadays, that's much better, much better. Now, what we need to do is the accessibility of care and affordability. The awareness part is much better these days.
But, you know, on the one hand, you yourself mentioned that when patients come to you, they're already under distress. So they come when they have an eye problem. But a lot of this can be prevented if patients came to you for a checkup, for example.
Yeah, see, not everything is preventable. Preventive eye care definitely helps.
Right.
Definitely helps. That's where we use our technology and give them reminders, talk to them and all that. Preventive things helps. but still the disease element is there. When disease element is there, how well a medical fraternity comes forward to take care of that is a challenge, and that's where we are working much on that.
And you have been proving yourself and rising to the challenge through your hospital and all your activities related to ophthalmology.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for being on our program
Thank
and
you.
sharing all that with us
Thank
today.
you so much.